everybody, welcome back to the Timepass podcast. This is your host, Ashika. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. If you haven't done so already, please like me on Facebook at Timepass Podcast, follow me on Instagram at Timepass_podcast, and check out the YouTube channel where you can like, follow, and subscribe to all the videos of the Timepass podcast. You can also find me on RuckusAvenueRadio.com. So excited to be there. And on any network where you tune into podcasts. All right, you guys, I have guests. It's been a while.
Yay.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
You guys all remember Fabian.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Cynthia. She was on, the last time you guessed it was
season one.
Season one. Yeah.
How dare you?
And I was the only guest that episode.
No.
Yeah,
Yes, I was.
she was.
Oh, yeah, you were.
For that episode.
Yeah, you were.
I wasn't, but yes, I was.
Yes, because
Oh, yeah.
yes, she was. It was about how to know when you're over it, or was it how to get over it? How to know when you're over it?
I think like how to know when you're like done.
Done.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good episode. Go back and listen to it if you haven't. Season one. I'm throwing it all the way back to 2020.
Ooh.
Anyway, we're here because we had a great weekend. So these two have been going to BottleRock in Napa for, this is their third year going?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yep.
And I was supposed to go last year. And I broke my ankle. And we got invited to go the first year, but I think it had already sold out by the time you guys invited us because it was it was late.
Because we got our tickets and then we told them, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Because we got our tickets and then COVID.
Oh,
So we
they
had to
kept
wait.
postponed it. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So this year I got invited again, and we actually went. But y'all buy your tickets early for BottleRock.
Yeah.
Like when they come out.
As soon as, because the 3-day tickets go on sale first.
Yes.
And then as soon as those 1-day tickets, because we get alerts, and as soon as that.
Yeah.
Let's get our ticket.
10 a.m. sharp, 10 or 11, something like that.
So one of those, but it's true, you have to get them fast because this year, like I told you to, I had a friend who was like, I'm jealous. Sunday sold out so quickly. I'm like,
We tell people.
Sunday was a great day. So if you don't know what BottleRock is, it is a 3-day music festival that takes place in Napa. Does anybody know the name of the park, the actual site?
it's like the Napa County Expo.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
Okay. But it's literally like in the middle of Napa, like downtown Napa. And you can buy a 3-day pass or you can do individual days. And we got our Sunday tickets because it was a fantastic lineup. And if you wait, like you were saying, your brother and sister-in-law came and they ended up spending an arm and a leg on tickets.
Essentially they paid double.
Oh,
They really wanted to go.
Yeah. Well, I can't blame them.
No,
We're fun.
I have to say, for my first time going there, I had a great time.
It was fun.
I really had a great time. I think it was just like the way we started. Like we left here, Sacramento, at like 10, right? Around there?
Yes.
And
Yes.
we set the tone because Cynthia brought...
It is a moonshine whiskey that somebody up in the foothills above Chico, they literally, it's like my brother-in-law's co-worker's dad like makes it in his tub.
Oh, okay.
Like moonshine. like literal moonshine.
Yeah.
It was really
It
good
was
though. It was
good,
smooth. It tasted
yes.
like tequila.
It was very
but it was
reminiscent of tequila.
a vanilla, was it bourbon or whiskey?
It was like a
I don't remember.
bourbon-ish flavor. Oh my god, it was good.
It was more tequila-y than bourbon.
It did taste
Yeah, but
tequila.
it had that like sweetness of it almost. You know, like the
I only had a sip because I was very nervous, y'all. I'm a drinker. And once I start drinking, I just want to keep going. And knowing that we had about a trek up to Napa, and then I didn't want to get tired, and then with my foot not being stable, I didn't want to be like a mess at the festival or like done before I even got to enjoy everything. So I was like, I'm gonna take it easy. But I did have a sip, and it was delish.
It was. So then we had that, and then we hit the road.
We hit the road. It was fun. And then and the traffic wasn't so bad. It took us about an hour, no?
It was a little bit over, I think, like maybe like an hour and 15.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But it went by fast because
Yeah.
they make it sound like it's going to be bumper to bumper and it's going to take like 2 hours.
No, it moves fast. The traffic moves fast.
And we were lucky because we got to park right in downtown Napa in a commercial spot. How does that work?
It was the yellow spots that are for like commercial vehicles, but on Sundays anybody can park there. So we ended up parking like
right downtown.
Right downtown.
And didn't have to pay.
Oh yeah, we didn't have to pay.
Because parking is, I think, like $50 or $60.
It is.
Ooh.
Maybe even more.
And it's not even that close.
No.
I feel like we got a little closer than.
Really?
Yeah, because there were like lots and stuff like along the way, and they weren't as close as where we parked.
I mean, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's your first time.
Yeah, it was my first time. I didn't know any better, and I was just like, I got out the car and I was like, how far are we walking to this? I was really nervous because when we did Golden Sky last fall, my foot was like dead. I was miserable by the end of the night. But again, I had just done that a week after having surgery.
Yes.
So
you were freshly.
Yeah. So I was a little nervous, but it was a nice walk, and we got there. We got in quick. There wasn't much of a wait.
The weather.
It
was the best part.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The weather was absolutely perfect. Like it was overcast most of the day. I think the sun came out
a few times.
It was windy. There was a nice little breeze.
Yes.
Yeah, my hat almost flew away twice.
That's true.
That's true. She had a tie.
I know.
But it was like the perfect weather because when we've gone before, it's been hot as hell.
Yeah.
And it is not
really
enjoyable.
uncomfortable, just miserable.
I had outfit changes because I'm
He did.
Oh, you
he changed
did?
like 3 times.
Yes.
And I had
extra
to
shirts.
I had to ask him for deodorant because I thought.
Oh yeah, I did bring
little
deodorant.
mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mustard.
I'm glad it wasn't hot then.
Yeah. It gets swampy, swamp-assy.
Yeah. We actually everybody had jackets.
Yes, I
That's
brought a
right.
lightweight jacket. Darren did too, and
We all
had
did.
it. Yeah, and it was comfortable like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I think there was only one time I got hot when we were walking there because like
Oh yeah.
yo, I don't do cardio anymore. Like
No.
Well, your foot.
yeah. So anytime we walk anywhere, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
are we there yet? Are we there yet?
True.
So walking into the festival, I have to say, okay, so you were gonna plan to take, if people are planning to go, tell them what they can take and can take, because you were planning on taking your fanny pack and then you changed your mind last minute. You actually did end up taking a bag in.
I
right?
took a fanny pack that I took it last year and I already knew because we already knew the rules. I knew that it was going to be okay. The rules for fanny packs are you can only have one zipper. And then kind of like when you go to a concert or when you go to a sporting event, you can't take like bags over a certain size, or if you take like a backpack, they have to be clear. Or you can take like little wristlets. They have all the bags have to be under a certain size.
And no more than, for the smaller ones, no more than one zipper and then or pocket, and then the bigger ones, like the hydration packs and stuff like that, no more than 2 zippers, or pockets. That
is so complicated. I hate carrying things around, so I always have whatever I need in my back pocket. But one thing I really liked about this festival was the wristbands and the fact that you can link your Venmo or your card to your wristband. And I mean, that's how I paid for all my drinks all day, was just scan my wristband. That was really easy.
It was easy. And then we walked around, checked out the food venues first.
No, we didn't. We got drinks right away.
Oh, yes. We got drinks first.
Like, no, we didn't.
Oh, and while we were walking around trying to get drinks, there was this little photo booth, right? Remember?
That's right. So like different brands of like say Bullet Bourbon, Hendrick's Gin. I think Bud Light had a photo booth, and it's the kind like where like the kind where it takes the picture for you, and then you just like input your email or your phone number, and it will automatically send it. And so
I like that feature.
Yeah, I love that. And so there was this guy at the Bullet Bourbon post who I noticed was looking at my girl. And so
this one.
Yes, so we took a group picture. All of us took, pictures with our significant others and such. And then we took a group picture, but then he asked her, do you want to take a solo pic? And she's like, no. And I'm like, no, you should do it, girl, for the podcast. I am forever advertising. I'm always she has a podcast. Listen to her on your favorite streaming platform. I tell everybody. And so I told him, I said, you should give her a sponsorship.
I love Bullet is the house bourbon in this house, by the way. I always have Bullet here. I love my Bullet bourbon. It's the house bourbon.
And that's what I told him. I'm like, hey, give us a bottle. She'll do record a podcast while drinking Bullet, #Bullet. And sponsor me. And so then of course she took a picture and it turned out so cute. Check out her Instagram. And then he was like, oh, hey, well, tell me a little bit more about this podcast.
No, he was like, okay, so I took the picture and then he was like, oh, that's perfect. That's like a good dating app photo. He's like, that's perfect for your dating apps. And I was like, oh, I don't do dating apps. And he's like, wait, what kind of podcast do you have? And I was like, oh, it's like a relationships and lifestyle podcast. And he's like, and you don't do dating apps? And so I was telling him, you guys had walked away. And so I was telling him, I was like, well, I said, I'm a big proponent of dating apps. I think that they serve a very specific purpose. So if that's what you're looking for, dating apps are the way to go. I'm a big supporter of that. I said, I'm just not in that state of mind anymore. I feel like I meet more people in real life. And he was like, oh, okay. And he's like, where can I find your podcast? How? Tell me how. And so then I gave him the Instagram for the podcast account. And then he was showing, I was like, okay, thinking I'm just getting a follower. And then he's like, here's my Instagram. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just follow you from the podcast account. I was like, I'll just follow you back.
And then
that was it.
No. Y'all, that is not it.
Well, it was much later. We were somewhere else. It was midday already.
Yeah.
And he slid into the DMs.
It goes down in the DMs.
But it was cute the way he did it.
He did. He was like, how about we go on a date and then you can podcast about it?
I said live stream it.
Yeah, me too. Yes.
Guys.
Mm-hmm. With commentary from us.
So it was funny because I was just messing around and I was like, ha ha ha, I'm game or whatever. And then he's like, isn't that like a fire pickup line? And I was like, yes, it is. And that's it. So, sir, you have a very limited window of following up on this date you asked me out on.
Yeah, Chuck.
What the fuck, Chuck?
Poor Chuck. He was tall. I think
he was cute. He had a nice body and everything.
He was tan.
Yes.
He was tan. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was cute. You cute, Chuck?
Chuck, call us. One of us will put out. No, just you.
You're not. Anyway.
So after we got drinks.
We checked out all the food. And then you and I went to the Don Julio bar, which I loved. Yeah. It was the biggest bar there, I think, for a brand.
Oh yeah.
It was bigger than the Hendrix bar, but the Hendrix one was 2-story.
It was.
They do that every year. They do a steampunk stage, and they have people on stilts. They have performers,
umbrellas, and all that. Super cute, Victorian steampunk almost. It's really cute.
I just kept seeing random people up, and I was like, what is going on?
Their photo booth had real flowers.
Yes. Roses.
I loved that. We took a really cute picture. It came out so cute too. We took a really cute
out the
and they printed it out.
They do, and they give it to you as a souvenir.
It was cute.
It was.
Yeah. And the food is like a huge thing there. I mean, it's Napa, right? So they have a culinary stage where throughout the day that we went, the Voltaggio brothers were there.
With the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and they cooked for Warren G.
Oh, yeah.
And they cooked also for Raekwon and Ghostface Killer of Wu-Tang. And then Tiffany Thiessen also cooked with Derek Huff.
Wait, that day?
Yes.
Why did I see Tiffany Thiessen? Oh, I went to go sit down.
Yeah, I think we were sitting at the couches.
Were you guys at Sheryl Crow?
Oh, yes, maybe.
Yeah, we were.
Well, because when Derek Huff came out, we were already. I saw him dance, but I think we were getting ready to leave. Yeah.
So they pair up celebrities with celebrity chefs.
And it's cute. They have like their own little stage, and altogether they have 3 stages. The culinary stage, they have the Verizon stage.
4.
5.
And then they have the main stage.
Yeah, they do. Because then they have the one
there's
by
one
the
that we never go
bathrooms.
to.
Yes.
And then they have the Alliance one that's by the Secret Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they have a VIP one that
Where
we
were all
couldn't
these
get
other
into.
stages?
The Alliance one by the porta potties, and then the main one, the Verizon one, the Jam Cellars.
Yeah.
And then the one behind the VIP by Jam Cellars, and then there's another one in that area, no?
There's one that's closest to the entrance.
Yes, and then the culinary one.
Oh, I guess. I just pay attention to the 3. I don't know.
The main one.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and then the food scene is ridiculous. You can get anything from empanadas to
Poutine,
Indian street food,
yes,
Mexican
taco,
food, dumplings.
Yes.
I wanted the
paella.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true. Desserts, different
Oh,
desserts.
the desserts, yes.
It's a foodie haven. I mean, you can go for the acts.
Yeah.
But people also go for the food. Like Darren, your husband dreamt about. I felt so bad for him. He dreamt about these hot dogs he had
like gourmet hot dogs
last year for a year, and then they weren't there.
Well, and then add insult to injury, the info booth said, "Oh, they're not here today."
Oh. Even my brother was like, "Hey, brother, did Alex asked me did Darren have his hot dog?" And I'm like, "They weren't there." And he's like, "Oh no, I bet he was mad." And I'm like, "Yeah, he was a little upset."
I know, and all 3 of us ended up having poutine, and then I had Nash and Proper later, which is like, I know you were like, why would you? Because it's local.
It's local, so I'm like, I don't want to get something that I can have like any other day, but you know.
But for me, I was hungry at that time later. But I just wanted something quick, and it was right there where we were. But is that a stage, the little Pacifico club, or is that like a club?
No, that's just a club.
Yeah,
they have so many fucking clubs at this festival. So they have the club that everybody knows about that we went into, and it's the only thing I didn't like about it is that it's all ages.
That's true. Yeah.
So you get like teeny boppers in there.
That's true.
And little kids.
Yeah.
There was literally little kids.
Yeah.
But the music was going off when we were in there.
It was like late 90s, early 2000s.
It was great. I had a good time. And that place gets packed, and there's a bar in there. And then there's the Pacifico Club. I didn't go in there, but you guys did. How was that?
I didn't go into the Pacifico Club.
I did.
I thought you guys
I went
did.
with Susie.
Oh, yeah. How was it?
It was fun.
That one's always good. They always just play like Latin music.
And then they give you all the swag because they're passing it out right there.
Fans, bandanas.
Oh my god, my fan!
Bottle openers. You forgot your fan?
I lost my fan.
You get a lot of swag going there.
Yeah.
You did. You got bullet sunglasses for my daughter.
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, there was the bullets. We got a pair of bullet sunglasses.
Yeah. And then there's the secret like speakeasy club that the dude from Verizon,
monkey whiskey or whatever.
the monkey
circle.
Monkey Circle. I think you're right. Yeah. So I don't know how it's been in years past, but we were walking by, like Verizon has almost like, it looks like a VIP area, and it's 2 stories and it has a bar. It has 2 bars, one downstairs and one upstairs. And we thought it was like, we just had general admission tickets. We thought it was a VIP. And then the dude who was working it was like, you want to get in here? And all you had to do was basically give them your information and you could access it. And then these guys had walked away to get drinks because you loved a particular drink. I want you to talk about it. But then I was standing there and he was like, hey, you want to go into a hidden bar? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much I love speakeasies? I'm all about the speakeasies. And he's like, you see the orange over there? And I was like, the orange flags? He's like, not the flags. And he's like, the orange right
Porta
there.
potty.
And I was like, that? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, go inside that porta potty. And it's like a club back there. There's like a bar and there's a DJ and everything. And I was like, are you lying to me? And he's like, no, go. And I was like, okay. Then I come and I tell this one and I was like, guess what? I just found out about a speakeasy. And he's like, oh, where? And I was like, you have to go in through the porta potty. He's like, oh, we know about that one already. And I was like, oh. I was like, can you at least pretend you don't know about it so I can be like in the know?
I'm like, oh my God, where is it?
No, what's cool about it is that it was legit a line of like porta potties, like a whole like wall of porta potties, and there was just this one in the middle, like the orangey yellow one, and then you walk in through that. Yeah. So it really was hidden. Like if
I would have never known. I would have thought that those people waiting in line were waiting in line to use the bathroom.
Porta potty.
Yeah. And when you get closer, you see that the porta potties are locked.
Yeah, the other one.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
The rest of the wall.
They're not functional. They're locked. They're just for the facade.
People kept going up there, and I did it too. I'm like, if they're gonna wait in line, I'll go to and then they're locked.
And the line went by fast.
Yeah, it does.
The little club was cute though. It was very like 90s.
Hip-hoppy.
Yeah, 90s hip hop.
Yeah, it was hip hoppy. They had like a wall, like everywhere you went, there was like photo walls.
Yes.
And this one was like. They legit had, remember that pair of like Nikes, customized Nikes, and it had like, it looked like a boombox.
Old boomboxes and
they had a bunch
of
old boomboxes, yeah. It was cute. I have to say that whoever the organizers are, they know that like this generation and everybody is all about doing it for the gram. Because the amount of photo ops that they have between like the big love sign and all the vendors have their own photo ops. Yes. They're doing that part right. And one other thing that I have to appreciate, I mean, being kind of from that event industry a little bit, is the amount of seating that was available.
Oh, yeah. They had more this year.
There was so much seating. I never struggled to find a seat. Like, because I was worried about my foot, there were times when, like, if you guys were doing something and I was like, okay, like, this is now, like, it's a good like lull time before I want to see an act for me to go take like a half an hour, just sit down or whatever. So I would just tell you guys like, hey, text me if you leave here, but I'm going to go grab a seat somewhere. And I would leave and I would just go sit for 30, 45 minutes. Never had a problem finding a seat. And shaded. They had all those shade sails over the picnic tables too. That tequila bar had like couches. I had a space on the couch. We lounged there for like an hour, didn't we?
Through Wu-Tang, yeah.
All through Wu-Tang.
Yeah. And then if you can't find like an actual seat or if you just want to chill, they have all that artificial turf.
Yes.
And it's comfortable.
People will sit on that.
I fucking love that artificial turf. It's the smartest thing that anyone's ever done. I wish the Golden Sky like festival people who put it on would do that because it just evens everything out. It's soft. It's
soft when you walk on it.
It's easy to walk on. Like it was so easy for me to get around that festival.
Yeah. It was
really, really easy.
And I told her, I said, you are a trooper to walk with the broken ankle or not broken, but you know what I mean.
The heel.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we were all exhausted.
And she was in boots.
And yeah, that's true. She was in boots. I was my ankles are not recovering, and I was wearing Converse, and it hurt. My feet were in some serious pain. So I told her, I'm like, you are a trooper, girl.
Thank you. My boots are just comfortable. The only other thing that I think you commented on, as far as giving props to the event organizers, was the bathrooms. For being the third day, when we first got there, the bathrooms were clean.
Yes.
There's plenty of bathrooms, not a long line. I don't know what else
They're flushable toilets,
They're flushable porta potties. There was always soap, and there was always paper towels.
Well,
except towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end of the night.
Oh.
Towards the end of the night, it was sparse. But,
and it's pretty clean. Like, they have a ton of event staff.
Oh, they do. They're always cleaning out the little receptacles for the women's hygiene products. They're trash. Always like emptying them. They were like on it.
Yeah.
Props, because most festivals don't do that. No. They put the porta potties there and have at it.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because guys can pee standing, but some of those porta potties get so disgusting, and then the guys will pee everywhere. And I feel bad for women that they have to like hover above.
You have to bomber it.
Yeah.
Well, they had a men's trough for you guys.
Oh, they did.
That's interesting. That's smart.
It is.
Can we talk about all the drinks? Because the drinks were so fucking yummy. Your drink that you and Man had, you guys loved those.
I was trying to be good and only have one type of liquor. And we ended up, it was actually Bullet Bourbon. And it had like ginger beer and like cherry and like lemon and mint. And it was so refreshing. You knew that it was pretty potent. It was strong,
but it was like a punch.
But it went down so easily. And any time that I wanted a drink, I'm like, I'm going over there. Like I did not mess around with getting something else. They were like, do you want tequila? Do you want this? Do you want that? And I'm like, nope. I'm gonna go get my Kentucky Maiden.
That's what it was called, right?
Bullet.
Yes. Yeah, it was good.
Well, it's funny because we ended up having shots of bourbon in the car. Oh, we did. When we got there, I mean, I had 2 shots. You and I had 2 shots, yeah. And then we got there, and I knew I didn't want to drink bourbon because I love my bourbon a little too much. And so I have to be in the right frame of mind to drink bourbon like that. So we ended up having champagne, and then we switched to tequila from the Don Julio bar, and it was so good.
It was.
The drinks. I had a Paloma, and then you had the cucumber margarita, and then I switched to the cucumber margaritas. It was really good.
But then we went to the other place, and then they had the mezcal with the carrot juice.
Oh, the tequila place. It was so good. It was so good. It was like earthy but yummy. It was the drinks were good. I would have to say there was 2 times when I felt like, I have a good buzz going. Like maybe I should slow down. Once in the day and then once at the end of the night when we went to the bar. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was fun, and the bartender there was cute.
Yes. He was. And no, not Andrew.
No, not Andrew.
I forgot his name.
I did too.
He was really memorable.
Yeah.
He was really.
I showed up to get us drinks, and I'm like, I'm back, and he's like, but it's just you. Where's your friend? And I'm like, I'm getting the drinks, and he's like, well, I'd rather have her here, and I'm like, great, nice to know.
So we went back right before the headliner went on. We went back. And he ended up giving us a deal when it was my turn to buy, so I was like, yes. So
BOGO.
Yes, exactly. It was a BOGO. I only paid for one. And then he wanted to hang out after. He was like, come back, come see me for one more drink before you guys leave. And then he was like, where are you? He asked where I was from, and I was like, Sacramento. And he's like, oh. And I was like, why? Where are you from? And he's like, Orange County. And I'm like, that's okay, man. It's okay. I do long distance.
No, you don't.
I do.
Nobody else does.
Wow.
He came all the way to work that event?
I guess.
I think he works for the company, yeah. Oh. I wonder if they have like a distillery or offices or something down south.
Maybe.
Or they're like the promoters, that they bring to different venues or whatever.
I mean, I would just say I was impressed between the drinks, the organization, the food. I had a great time, and it was nice for me to get a little like male attention, to feel like wanted again after being like so like
out of it
and stuck in my feels for so long. It it was a nice little ego boost, and it was what I needed. So that was really nice.
Well, she def got it. Yeah.
Still got it.
But we didn't talk about the main thing, the music.
Well, it was
it
good.
the booze?
I was there for the food.
I was there for the alcohol. I remember we walked in and I was like, if you can't find me, I'm gonna be at the bar. If you can't find me, I'm gonna be at that bar.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, I'm gonna spend the whole day like bar hopping.
Mm-hmm.
There really is that.
There's a lot of bars. Yeah.
It's done really well. But so Sunday was the first day to sell out for single tickets. Mm-hmm. I think the lineup was fantastic. Never again are you going to see those acts put together on a one-day festival ticket.
Or sometimes even alone. I don't know when I would see the main act, again. Or
so we saw Sheryl Crow. Wu-Tang.
We saw the Struts from like the side.
Yes. The Struts, and then the main act was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes.
And that was such a good show.
Yeah, but Lil Nas X was there too.
Yes.
Warren G was there.
Yeah, Warren G performed also. We didn't see Lil Nas X, but I read that his performance was like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he brought out like a minotaur or like a centaur on stage.
What?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of like kissing,
bestiality. Okay, little.
Maybe we should have watched this show.
You two almost didn't make it back to Chili Peppers.
Oh my god! Because we were
drinks.
flirting with the bartender.
You were flirting with the bartender.
He was flirting with me.
All of a sudden.
We went to the bathroom, like we had 10 minutes till Red Hot Chili Peppers was gonna go on, and we're like, let's go to the bathroom, let's go right now, because we both had to go. That was when we went to the bathroom, it was a hot mess a little bit. The
and
lines
then they
were
weren't
long.
people. The security wasn't letting certain areas go
back.
through.
That's new for this.
Yes.
So what they said was that it was so packed where we were, because we were pretty not like in front by the stage.
Well, we weren't halfway either.
We were front middle, I would say. Yeah, in front of the middle. And we were trying to get back in and they would not let us.
Yeah.
And then this one was like, something had happened and they were escorting somebody. So there was like a break and he's like, go in.
Yeah.
And we just snuck back in. And it was, people were rude at that point. Like they would see us coming and like not move. And I'm like, oh, I'm coming. I have people up there.
But yes, the music was good. Everything was good.
Sheryl Crow was great.
Oh, I love Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
We were sitting down at that time, but we were in the culinary area, so we heard everything. Like, I literally was singing every song that came on.
Because they also put him on the big screens, right?
Yeah.
So with every song,
That's
because Manny's like, oh, she's not really like my thing, and then he's like, clearly she's yours, because I'm like,
Yes.
every song. I was like, man, she did all of her hits like back to back to. It was like listening to Sheryl Crow's greatest hits.
Yeah, it was.
Red Hot Chili Peppers did great too.
Oh,
they played all the songs I like.
Yeah, except Scar Tissue.
I'll do it for you.
No.
But I have been lucky enough to see them perform before, but they still sound fantastic. They are excellent performers. I would go see them again.
Yeah.
Oh yes, agreed. Yeah. Anthony Kiedis with the little mustache, I was like, okay.
And his healthy hair.
His
shiny healthy hair.
His hair looked good. His mustache, I was like, all right, I see what you're doing.
Mr. Kiedis.
Yeah, it was excellent. I mean, what I love about Chili Peppers is like it doesn't matter how old you are, or like what color you are. Like there was people of all ages, all colors there, and everybody was like in their feels. It seemed
into it, yeah. It was good.
And they did a little encore, and then I feel like getting out wasn't that bad for the amount of people that were there. It wasn't that bad
because they have two huge door areas. Yeah. So.
And we funneled out. We funneled out pretty quickly, and we were on the road again pretty quickly. The traffic, I think, was worse getting out than getting in.
Yeah, but it still wasn't
horrible.
Terrible.
Agreed. Well, I had a great time, you guys. I finally made it. Thanks for inviting.
You're welcome. When tickets come out, we'll let you know.
We're going again.
I will link whatever I can find about BottleRock in the show notes on timepasspodcast.com. I had a great time with you guys.
Yay,
thanks for coming on the show and talking BottleRock.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys, if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe on your listening platform of choice. Follow me on the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube as well. Make sure you check me out on your streaming platform of choice and ruckusavenueradio.com. That's all we've got for you guys today. Whatever you do, stay authentic, even when you're out with your friends, doing what you want to do, having a good time. And what do I always say? You always meet people when you do the things you love with the people you love. You run into the best people. We'll see what happens with Mr. Chuck. He's got a small window.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say how is life, but no.
Stay authentic, you guys. I'll see you next time.
Bye.